Good morning, all of you. In the last class, we are discussing about the software architecture design pattern introduction. Okay, now just we can see the syllabus on the screen. So, in the second unit, just analyzing the architectures, and third one, fourth one, fifth one are belongs to the different types of patterns. So, those are creational patterns, structural patterns, behavioral patterns. Okay, so these are the textbooks, main textbooks, software architecture in practice, second edition, Lenbas, and second one is design patterns, Enrich, Gamma, Pearson Education. So these are the main textbooks. Okay, hello. I I think I'm audible to everyone, and you can see the screen. Are you able to? Hello, hello. All of you, please try to log in by using the same link again. I think it will be ended within. Hello. Are you able to see the screen now? Are you able to see the screen now? Okay. Okay. These are the course outcomes we are already discussed in the last class. So those are first one is student can able to understand what is software architectural pattern and structures and views. In the case of second course outcome, can able to analyze the designing software, and third course outcome can able to understand how we are and deployed the concepts of object oriented concepts in the developed software, and the fourth course outcome, how to we are implementing different types of patterns, different types of these patterns. Okay. uh, okay. So in the last class, just we are discussing about what is software architecture design pattern. So it is completely related with the software engineering and object oriented concepts. So if you know, if you are easily understand this, if you are familiar with software engineering, then the subject is very easy. I think this is very easy subject to you, because we are already studying about object oriented concepts, and another thing is the software engineering also. So what is the software architecture design pattern is, it's completely how to we are design the software, and how we are reducing the complexity in front of the end users. Okay, so we are already discussing all these things. So what are the types of design patterns? Types of design patterns: creational patterns, structural patterns, behavioral patterns. Actually these three are the three units. Hello. Once again I mention the same thing. All of you try to join before the 10 minutes session. Okay. then this problem is not occur to us, need not to repeat again and again the same thing. Okay. Okay, in the last class we are discussing, if you are observe one thing in the syllabus. So if you are observe the syllabus, here the topics are architecture business cycle, software architecture, architectural pattern, reference models, reference architecture, and architecture structures and views. These are the part 1. So in the last class we are already discussing what is architecture business cycle. Okay, what is architecture business cycle? So this is a cycle. So that means we also know about what is a cycle. When one process is having the starting and ending is same, so that will be referred as a cycle. So here which type of cycle is we are consider architecture business cycle. So here we are which type of architecture it is, software architecture. So then why we call it as a business cycle means, well, when we are developing some software, definitely it will be used in some organization or maybe some business organization. So that's why this will be completely referred as architecture business cycle. So that means when we are developing one software from the starting step to the ending step, at the same time ending steps to the again starting step for performing the verification, this complete procedure can be referred as a architecture business cycle. So this is we are already discussed in the last class. If you are observing this diagram, so here, when we are developing one software, then definitely it will be influences to the some factors. What are they? So the first one is the stakeholders, and another one is the developing organization, technical environment, and another one is the architect experience. We already discussed all these things in the last class. So what is the meaning of stakeholders means we can consider in any type of the way. So maybe the end user, or maybe the customer, or maybe marketing manager, or maybe the developing environment, whatever it may be. So who is really interacting with the developed software, that person will be treated as stakeholder. Okay. So in other point of view, for our easily we can understand, for example, maybe project manager mainly consider low cost software. For example, if it is a customer low expensive, low using low bandwidth. So these are the main opinions about the stakeholders. Okay, we're already discussing all these things yesterday. So in the case of system stakeholders, they are verifying all these things. For example, if you are using some software, then definitely we will verify how much of bandwidth it is. Okay, what is the network status, and what is the performance, what is the reliability, what is the availability, security. Am I right or not? So when we are using some software, definitely we will verify all these things. So then we are the end users. Okay, so when we are developing one software, then it will be giving the some influences to the developed organization also. If it is good, then no problem. If it is occur any type of negative results, then again performing remodifications on the developed software. At the same time, architects having the problems if any type of errors are occur, and we try to change the technology technical environment. So these are we are already discussed in the last class, and the next topic is software process. So we also know about this. So how we are developing the software. So or what is the process to developing the software. So if you are observing, if you are observe one thing here, so in the exam point of view, asking the question is software architecture. Explain software architecture activities. So I think we are assume. So this is out of syllabus. But if you are clearly study that question number of times, then we are having some idea. So you can remember another thing. In the exam point of view, they are not asking questions directly. They are asking always indirectly. Okay, then we can try to draw the relation from our existing knowledge to the asking question. Okay, I think most of the members having the idea. So, but I am trying to repeating the same thing again. Okay, in the case of how we are developing the software. So we also know about this in the case of software engineering. Just only we are based upon the 5 phases: requirement analysis, design analysis, coding, testing, and maintenance. The same thing will be represented here in the 7 activities. Okay, so the first one is the developing the business case. So in the case of developing the business case, here architect and developer, So these are both persons are responsible. So why we are developing this, and how we are developing this, so and how much of effort is needed, how much of money is needed, how much of my lab is needed. Okay, so all these things are verified, and if you are developing this software, then how we are marketing in the public. So all these things are verified in the developing the business case, and this is helpful for to the uh, this is helpful for to the requirement analysis. Okay, this is helpful for to the requirement analysis. And second thing is also the same thing, identify requirements. So when we are developing one software, so definitely first of all we are identify which type of requirements are needed. For example, if we are developing some for example, if we are developing some software for the college, then which type of things are we are consider, how many number of students are studied, and how many branches are available, how many number of faculty available, and how many number of books are available in the library, which type of securities are, or which type of facilities are provided by the college, whether like maybe the gym or maybe canteen. So like this. So if we are collecting all these requirements, then we can try to design. So if you are observe the third one, so developing or selecting architecture here, this is separate from, hello. బాబాయ్, ముందు start చేస్తా. Hello. Hello. uh, sir. Hello. Hello. Tell me, Venkata Krishna. Yeah, 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 yes sir. uh, okay sir. Okay, okay sir. Oh, sorry. Where is Srinivas Jaiswal? I think you are on mute, sir. Please try to check once. Sir, Srinivas, sir. Srinivas, sir. I hear your I hear your voice now, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Hello. Yes, yes, yes. Just wait 1 minute, sir. Okay. I think all of you I think am I audible to everyone? I hope I hear my voice, all of you. Okay. Are you able to screen the now? Are you able to see the screen now? Okay, okay. So, okay. Uh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. We are already discussed all these things in the last class and documenting the architecture. So after developing the software, definitely we will be giving the documentation to the end user, because if any doubts are maybe occurred or any problems are occurred when during the execution of the particular software by that user, then it will be rectified by that documentation. So documentation should be clear, and here before delivering the software to the end users or develop business organization, we should be verified whether it is correct or not. Okay. And another thing is last one, implementing the architecture and checking the conformance, so whether it is exactly meet the requirements of user or not, so we should be verifying that. And another thing is, hello. Okay, so now we are discussing today topic, that is software architecture. Okay, software architecture is a structure of system that consists of certain number of components along with their visible features and relationships among with them. So that means, so the name is in place. This is the second topic of our syllabus, software architecture. What is the software architecture? So structure of the software or structure of a system. So in that software having number of components, so we don't know how many number of components there. For example, if you are consider library, so library is also having some set of modules, and these modules able to performing different types of the functionalities. Okay, so the completely the set of modules or elements and relationships among with them will be referred as a software architecture. I think software architecture focuses on modifications in the designs, goals, specifications. So, which are the requirements before developing the software? Those are verified in the software architecture. And the properties of the software elements are externally visible, and easily we can predict the performance, measures, services, fault handling. So, if you are using one software, so based upon that, the functionalities of the software, we can easily verify whether it is properly working or not, and we can easily guess what is the performance, what is the measures, and if we are able to identifying the faults also. And in the case of software architecture, mainly it will be comprises with the software elements and externally visible properties of those elements and the relationships among them. Software architecture consists of software architecture consists of Software architecture consists of mainly four things. Those are the software elements and using more than one structure. And third one is every software computing system has a software architecture. And the fourth one is behavior of each element in the software architecture. Again, I am repeating the same thing. So when we are discussing about the software architecture, mainly consider the four things. So the first one is software elements, and second one is software architecture using more than one structure, and third one is every software computing system having some software architecture, and fourth one is behavior of each element. So now we're discussing one by one. So what is the purpose of software elements? Software architecture describes the software elements and their relationships. So previously I mentioned the same thing. So when we are based upon one software, so definitely we are related with some elements. So for example, maybe if you are consider the library, so in the case of library, all of you please mute yourself. Don't try to Maintain the disturbance in the class. Please mute yourself. Okay, thank you. Okay, in the case of software elements, so in the case of software elements, those are used for to describing the software architecture and relationships. So it is an abstraction of a system. We also know about what is an abstraction. So without knowing about the background details, we can easily understand. So when we are developing some project, so we should be mentioned abstract. Because why? Because so if we are studying the abstract, we are clearly understand which type of software it is, and in which type of way implemented. So what is the reason for to be implemented, and what are the drawbacks, so what is the need, so everything will be understand by the abstract. In the same way, software elements are also used for to describing the software architecture. For example, maybe if you are observing one software, okay, so in that software having different types of modules or elements, so based upon those elements we clearly understand. For example, if the button is there join, so we can understand join. Am I right or not? So if the, for example, if the button is there mute, so then we can easily understand performing the operation mute. So those are the software elements. And second one is the software architecture using more than one structure. So need not to using not necessary using only one structure, so it will be using more than one structure also, or more than one functional unit also. So every functional unit having different types of specific functionalities. Okay, and another thing is here we are consider two things: runtime related, non-runtime related also. So in some type of situations, runtime situations, so that means dynamic binding. In some type of situations, we are based upon the static binding. Static binding means just only which is available in that particular software that will be viewed by the users. In the case of dynamic binding, so if you are performing any modifications, for example, what is the value of these two things, so if you are consider this one also, then what will be the value, so all these are verified in the case of dynamic binding. Okay, if you are observing the third thing, every software computing system having has a software architecture. So here yeah, developed software having computing systems. Okay, for example, maybe if we are calculating our CCPA, so that will be changed from person to person. In the same way, in some type of situations, some of the persons may be verifying the percentage, how many number of students are passed in that particular academic year. So in the same way, some of the users may be calculating how many number of students are passed in this particular subject. So that means here the users are different, at the same time their computations are different. So at that time of the situation, we need to form different types of structures for every computation. And the last one is the behavior of each element. So which type of behavior it is, whether it is correctly responded to the user, so whether it will be giving the within the time or not, so what is the responsiveness of the particular module. Okay, so all these are verified. So that means in the case of software architecture, mainly we are consider the four things. The first one is elements, software elements. Second one is more than using more than one structure. And third one is every computation having software architecture. And the fourth one is behavioral elements. Okay, now we are discussing the another topic, that is oh okay. Mm, hello, 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 sir. I can hear your voice, sir. No problem. Okay. Second topic is architectural pattern. The name is implies here also which type of pattern or which type of architecture of the pattern. So this is not actually software architecture. So just it is a one of the module. So what is the use of architectural pattern is it gives the description of an element and its relationships. Okay, a description of an element and relation types together with a set of constraints. So which type of constraints are we are used into the pattern. For example, maybe we are giving different types of the constraints before developing the software. For example, maybe user may be asking the developer, so I want this. So maybe if the user is behave like this, then it will be stop the execution of the process. So in this type of way, according to the requirements of the user or design issues of the developer, we are developing the architectural pattern. Okay, so that means we need to insert some constraints. So in which type of way it will be processed. Okay, and the second thing is reference model. Reference model means this is reference model means nothing but division of functionality. So division of functionality means nothing but modules. So which type of modules are considered within the software? For example, maybe we are already using these type of terms in the case of projects. Okay, or maybe when we are developing some software, so which type of modules are performed by this software, then they may be responsible like this. It will be performing the admin, it may be working like as a user, and it will be working like as a executing the all of you please mute yourself. Okay, uh, okay, I think all of you able to see the screen. Okay, reference model is nothing but the division of functionality. So here we are verifying each and every module whether it is properly working or not. So that will be verified into the reference model. Okay. If you are observe on the screen, standard decomposition of known problem into the parts of cooperatively to solve the problem. So that means here the in the case of software engineering, we are already discussed the same thing. So that is maybe referred as unit testing. So we are also having we are also know about different types of testings. So unit testing, integration testing, system testing, like this. So in the case of unit testing, we are verifying every module. So whether that particular module is properly responded to the queries of the user or not. So whether it will be giving the if maintain the proper performance or not. So that thing will be verified into the reference model. And the third one is reference architecture. So I think all these terms are similar, but their functionalities are different because you try to observe clearly. So first thing is architectural pattern. So in the case of architectural pattern, it will giving the description about every element. In the case of reference model, here we are division of functionality. Now we are discussing about the reference architecture. So reference architecture mapping the divisional functionality of the reference model. So if you are observe here, reference model mapped onto the software elements, whereas reference model divides the functionality. A reference architecture is mapping of that functionality onto the system decomposition. So that means after decomposing the functionalities of the software, again we try to combine all these functionalities into a single one. So that thing will be performed by the reference architecture. So up to now, just we are discussing about the five topics. So the first one is architecture business cycle, and the second one is software architecture. So in the case of software architecture, consider mainly four things: software elements, and more using more than one structure, and every computation having the software architecture, and behavior of the particular element. And the next one is, here we are discussing about architectural pattern, which type of pattern. So before developing the software, which type of pattern will be suitable for to the users, because every type of the software developed by some issues, some goals, some achievements. So all these are the constraints and requirements. So whatever it may be required to the user, those are will be treated as the constraint. So we also know about a constraint, different types of constraints. And another thing, reference model. In the case of reference model, we are dividing the functionality. In the case of reference architecture, we can combine the decomposition of the functionality units. And the next topic is architectural views. We also know about what is a view. So a representation of set of reasonable elements and the relationships among them. Okay, so that will be referred as a view. So here view is different from one person to the another person, because for example, maybe if you are consider the campus placement drives, so maybe some of the companies may be asking students percentages and names. Names are enough, but some companies may be asking what are the percentages in every year, and student name and student phone number also. Maybe some other companies asking some other some other required data. So that means here uh, from person to person it will be differ from one to another. So the we try to provide that particular view. Okay, view is a representation of set of system elements and relationships among them, not all system elements but those of particular type. For example, a layered view of a system would show elements of type layer. So that is, it would show systems decomposition into layers and relationships among to those layers. So that means if you are observe one layered, so only we can observe only that particular layer only displayed to the users. Views may be driven by need to the document particular pattern in your design. Some patterns are composed of modules, other components, connectors, still others have deployed considerations. So modules views, here we are consider different types of views. So those are first one is the module views, second one is the component and connector views, and third one is the allocation views. Okay, if you are observe clearly, module views are completely related with the modules. Component and connector views are completely related with the runtime binding. So that means whenever it is executed. So or maybe for example, maybe collecting the fees. We are processing something. Then after processing, for example, maybe in the online we are using different types of transactions. For example, maybe we are recharge our phone. So that is related with the component and connector and the allocation view. So after performing this, so how it will be uh, displayed, how it will be displayed for to the users will be based upon to the allocation view. So now we can observe one by one module views. A module is an implementation unit that provides coherent set of responsibilities. A module might take its form of class, collection of classes. A layer can aspect or any decomposition of the implementation unit. We also know about the module, so the different functionalities. Okay, you can study this. And when we are consider the module views, some type of properties are also we can observe. So which type of responsibilities are assigned to that particular module? For example, maybe if you are consider the library software, then which type of modules are we are considered? Issue is a one module, and maybe date of issue, date of return is another type of module, and staff is one module, students is one module, books is one module, and admin is one module, like this. So now we are observing the responsibilities of the particular module. So for example, what is the purpose of using the date of issue? What is the purpose of using the staff? What is the purpose of using the books, like this? Next, visibility of interface. Second thing, these are the properties of module views. So I am already mentioned the same thing. So views are considered into the three types. Those are module views and component connector views and the allocation views. Now we are discussing just what are the properties of module views. So that means when we are based upon to the module views, which type of things are verified? So the first one is the responsibility, and second one is the visibility of interface. So how it will be viewed by to the user, whether it is properly interacted with the user or not. So based upon that module functionality, whether the user able to using the functionality properly or not. And third one is the implementation information, and fourth one is mapping to the source code units and test information, management information, implementation constraints, and revision history. So what we are done today, so all these are related with the module views. Okay, so and the next one is component connector views. So in the case of component connector views, show the elements that have some runtime presence, such as process, objects, clients, servers, and data stores. So that means when we are requesting something from the server, for example, maybe we want to know about our information as a student, to know about the result. So then we try to log in into the particular website and asking that particular server to know about the details of the students. Okay, then this type of view will be treated in the software architecture, component and connector. Okay, so this is also having some properties. So, when we are based upon to the some particular view, so each and every view having different types of modules and on that particular module having some type of properties also. So in the case of component and connector view is also having different types of properties. Those are, the first one is the reliability and performance, resource requirements, functionality, security, concurrency, modifiability, type. So all these are the properties of the concurrent and sorry, component and connector views. Okay, so what is the use of reliability? For example, maybe if we are paying the fees by using the particular module, for example, maybe we are open one website. Maybe if you join for to this, you can pay some amount, then we can click the button so to pay. So after we click the pay button, then run the component and connector view. So then it will be, should be based upon to the reliability. Am I right or not? So maybe, for example, maybe it's happened, maybe deducting our amount from the our bank, but that is not responded into the result. Then what happened? So not maintains the reliability. So you should be verify the every module functionality. So that module is considered into the different type of view here. And performance is also same thing. Resource requirements, which type of requirements are, which type of resources are available, and which type of requirements for to the users. And functionality, security is also the main thing, that is also related with the component connector. And concurrency, we also familiar with this word. So concurrency means whenever more than one user access at the same time, then occurring the problem here. So we need to provide the security, we need to provide the maintenance the data integrity. Okay, I think we are already studying into the artificial intelligence. Okay, and next one is the modifiability. In some type of situations, maybe try to perform the modifications. For example, maybe occurring some error, then also we try to process with the same thing. Okay, and last one is the allocation views. Allocation views describing the mapping of the software units to elements to the environment. So that means all these are verified, all these modules are properly working or not is verified by to the allocation views. Okay, and views can be viewed like as, that means what is the main purpose of using the views is, first of all, whether it is maintains the, in the case of security view. So previously I mentioned the same thing. View is different from one user to the another user. For example, if you are using the same software by the different users, they are looking the same software into the different type of ways, because the type of way is based upon to the particular user opinion. Some of the users may be how much of bandwidth is used. Some of the users may be verifying the performance, how much of responsiveness. Okay, some of the users comfort with architecture. If you we are really observe the same thing, so maybe that site is so better. So why we are referred as it is so better? Because the architecture is different, so it is interacting with the user easily. So we are already having some opinion about different types of websites. That website is very good, so that website is very nice. So why we are giving that rating? Based upon to the based upon to the that particular software architecture only. So here the views advantage is to providing the security, communication. So maybe communication, providing the communication between the client and server, or maybe user and clients. And exception error handling view. So how to we can handle the errors? So reliability view, performance view. So all these are. So if you are observing one thing here, just we also know about this. Just a small example. Number of times I'm using the same thing. If you are developing one software, if you are developing one software, we try to consider one example here. Okay, college information system. Just I'm giving small example here. So if you are giving the username and password and press the submit, if that particular if the user is authorized person, then only he is allowed to the particular software to performing some activities. For example, maybe in the case of college information system, I am including the modules are students, faculty, library, logout. So that means here I am separating one module from to the another module. So which type of thing it is? So if you are observing the one thing, So in the previous case, I mentioned the same thing, architectural pattern. Okay, and another one is we are consider different types of the topics here. So today, just we are discussing about that architectural view and reference architecture, reference model, architectural pattern. In the case of architectural pattern, we are specifying the constraints. In the case of a reference model, verifying the every module. In the case of reference architecture, if we are combining all these modules into a single module, then those modules are properly working or not. So these three things are we are verifying here from this software. Okay. So that means, so if you are giving some wrong password, whether it is entered into the request or whether the user is log into the system or not. So for example, if the unauthorized user also try to hack our account, so maintains the security view. So in the case of when the particular user is log into the system, then observing different types of modules here, students, faculty, library, logout. So if the students, for example, maybe if I click the students, then maybe asking different types of branches, which type of student you have, or here directly giving some module that is search. So that means if you are observe this module, user can clearly understand. So we can able to search our required student through enter roll number. When the user press the search, then enter roll number and submit. Okay, today we are just discussing about four topics. If you are observing the syllabus here, if you are observing the syllabus, I think you are able, all of you able to see the screen. So if you are observing the first unit, architecture business cycle is also we are already discussed. What is a software architecture? So in the case of software architecture also, we are consider mainly four things. So what are the software elements? And another one is using more than one structure, and every software computing having the software architecture, and last one is the behavior of the elements. That is about the software architecture and architectural pattern. So what is the use of architectural pattern is the description of the elements. So description of the elements and giving the description about the relationships among the attributes. And the next one is reference architecture. Okay. And next topic is architectural pattern. So architectural pattern is giving the description about the elements, and second one is the reference model. It will be using for functionality of the separation of the functionality of the module. And reference architecture is nothing but combine the decomposition of modules into a single module. That is about reference architecture. And we are discussing about the views also, different types of views where we are considered module views and component connector views and allocation views. Each and every view having the different types of responsibilities. So these responsibilities are related with the particular module. I think maybe all topics are similar, but here every topic is different from one to another. You try to understand this, and I perform some modifications in the yesterday PPT. You can try to observe. So after posting into the group, okay, I will mention this. If you're having any doubts, you can ask me personally. And I mentioned the I'm again repeating